Today, space is of the essence, but it's also becoming very scarce and it's very expensive. Be it real estate, be it housing, or even cars for that matter, space is a rapidly appreciating commodity. In fact, until today, 7 lakh rupees would get you a hatchback's worth of space. But not anymore, because this car right here today makes space out of thin air. Ladies and gentlemen, the all-new Renault Triber. Now, it's not just these detachable rear seats that create space. That's a neat trick, but a neater trick is the design. You see, the Triber is under 4 meters long, yet it manages to fit 7 seats. How Renault has managed to do that is by stretching the Kwid's platform by 5 inches, placing all 4 wheels at the extreme corners and then building a van-like body around it. Except that it doesn't look like a van, and that's because of these chunky body claddings over the wheel arches, those oversized roof rails, and this big chrome grille and more body claddings on the front and the rear bumper. The Triber then is trying to look like an SUV, and that's because it's got the Kwid's genes in it. While it pretends to be an SUV on the outside, it is pretty much a van inside. But the clever packaging has managed to liberate a lot of space. In fact, even in the front seats, I have more space than in a hatchback. And the story gets even more interesting at the back. While there's adequate space for a sub-4 meter car, the rear seats can even be moved forwards and backwards, while you can go ahead and recline the seats according to your convenience. The van-like body has also liberated enough space for a third row of seats. But as you can see, the lack of under-thigh support and cramped knee room would mean that it's only good for shorter journeys. You did see me remove these seats before, and that means that you can have a Triber with 625 liters of boot space. Under the hood of the new Renault Triber is the same 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engine found in the Kwid, but with a little more oomph, pushing the power up by 4 PS and the torque up by 5 Newton meters. Now the power rating then becomes 72 PS and 96 Newton meters, which doesn't really sound much for a 7-seater MPV, and to be honest, the performance is a little underwhelming. Your right foot will have to put in a little amount of effort to get the revs up to 3,500 RPM, post which the variable valve timing will help with a little boost and get the revs up to 5,000 RPM, after which the power actually starts tapering off. And that means at highway speeds, overtaking will be a bit of an effort. But the Triber isn't built for speed, and it's the city where it really shines as a quick little car. And that experience is bettered with a quick steering rack that helps you maneuver in and out of city traffic easily, while the chassis and suspension plays along. Even around corners, the Triber chassis is impressive. It's steady and it holds its line as long as you're not pushing it too hard. The ride quality is pretty decent at city speeds, and that's about 50 to 70 kilometers an hour. Anything lower than that and the damping could have been a little more pliant, and you would really want to back off for the rough stuff at higher speeds. Then there are the features. No LED lights except for the DRLs, but you do get projector headlamps and trick steel wheels with wheel covers that flawlessly mimic the look of alloy wheels. Inside you get an 8-inch infotainment system to play with, as well as a fully digital instrument cluster. The rear passengers get their own dedicated air vents mounted neatly on the B-pillar, as well as dedicated fan speed control, and they can also reach out to a cool compartment in the center console. The third row of passengers also get their dedicated air vents, and none of these passengers will complain of a built-to-a-cost cabin, because the Triber's cabin actually looks premium. Although the fit and finish as well as the vibrations from the 3-cylinder engine could have been better. The Indian auto industry has given us all sorts of cars. Cars with built-in internet, cars that are hybrid, and cars that are even the cheapest in the world. But for the first time, here is a car that touches upon the most pertinent subject, maximizing space. And the Renault Triber gives you the most bang, in fact gives you the most space for your buck. At 6.5 lakhs, you can have the top of the line RX-Z, and we really hope that it replicates the successes of the Duster and the Kwid. I'm Abhik, signing off, and thank you for watching PowerDrift.